Good afternoon, and welcome to the Wednesday afternoon conference call with Trusts Unlimited. This is Jim George speaking. I'm the non-attorney spokesman and facilitator for Trusts Unlimited, and I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time to listen to this call, particularly those of you calling in for the first time and those that will be listening to the replay over the next 24 to 48 hours. We like to move quickly through these calls, bottom line the information for you. This is going to be a short call today for a number of reasons. First, we've been absolutely inundated with requests for trusts and last-minute service requests for existing clients. Second, as many of you know, our lead attorney's wife of 54 years passed away about 2 weeks ago, and our attorney has been out of town, back to their home base, and this was his first full week back, so he's got a lot to catch up with as well. There are a lot of calls that I'm going to be privy to today. Most of them are recorded calls, but some of them are closed calls that will not be recorded. One of them started at the same time as this call, and frankly, I want to get into that call as soon as possible. I am going to provide you with some information here, but I strongly suggest that those of you calling in for the first time after listening to this call, go to our call of June 6th. You can go to YouTube or IQD calls to get that call because it has a detailed explanation of the program we've put in place to assist you. Now let me get into the information I have for today. After over a decade of being involved with these currencies, and many of our clients have been involved for that long, it looks like the stars are finally aligning for the reinstitution and revaluation of the dinar and some of these other currencies. We know that the quantitative financial system was implemented on June 1st. We know that the Iraqi banking system completed its reforms on June 1st. We know that Basel III starts on June 28th, which is less than a week from now. Now, why is this important? There are 5 phases of Basel, Basel 1 through Basel 5. We're entering Basel 3. What is Basel compliance? It's over time ensuring that the currencies, international currencies from the respective central banks, are backed with commodities. Basel 3 is the intermediary step. Now, this is important for a number of reasons. First, by utilizing the commodities to back these currencies, and as those of you that listen routinely, I often say that what we're looking at is a global shift from fiat-based to Basel III compliant currencies. Basel III compliance has a variety of benefits, one of which is that these currencies to some degree are going to be backed by commodities, and of course Basel IV and Basel V will even be higher percentages. But there are other advantages too. One of the advantages is countries like China will not be able to blatantly undervalue their currency in order to corner the international trade market. We also know that the currency will no longer be based solely by the full faith and credit of the respective governments, but by the known natural resources in those respective countries and their ability to bring those resources to market. Third, some of the nefarious banking activities with regard to currency arbitrages and some of the more speculative deals will no longer be able to be made. Lastly, countries will simply not be able to print all of this helicopter money because when they print currencies, a percentage of that must actually exist in tangible assets to back those currencies. So this is really all good news. In addition, the Iraqi Prime Minister Kazemi will be involved in a 4-day visit in the United States, and ironically, it will occur during the implementation of Basel III, and I do not think the timing of that is coincidental. In addition, the CBI is involved in a number of closed meetings mostly with their finance committee, but with also some of the international agencies. The subjects at hand are going to be the deletion of the zeros, the new exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar, and also reviewing the progress Kurdistan has made with regard to safety and with regards to some of their internal investment in infrastructure projects. Lastly, there are reports that the United States Treasury and the IMF are in daily meetings to work out quote-unquote last-minute details. So all of this information, as far as I'm concerned, says to me that the reinstitution and revaluation of the Iraqi dinar could literally occur at any time. Now, does that mean it's going to happen tomorrow or even next week? No, but it does mean that it could happen, because all of the things necessary to implement the reinstitution and revaluation are either in place or will be in place very shortly. So this is why I'm going to need to get into all of these other calls to try to glean as much information as I can. Now, one other thing I want to mention, and it's this. We discuss on all of our calls all of the reasons that you should establish your package of trusts and why it should be done pre-RV. But one of the things that we have intentionally left out of the discussion is the potential tax advantages of establishing this irrevocable trust package. Section 988E2 of the Internal Revenue Code refers to the profit from the exchange of these currencies as a capital gain, which suggests that if you are in physical possession of a currency, that's a capital asset. Section 643B of the code says the exchange or sale of a capital asset within an irrevocable trust such as ours is tax deferred. Now, we were waiting for the reinstitution of the dinar in order to compel the IRS to confirm Sections 988E2 and Section 643B. But if, in fact, this is confirmed, and I see no reason why it would not be, although before we state it as a fact, we do want written confirmation, it means that by establishing this trust, you will be able to transact with tangible currencies that would ordinarily be taxed at capital gains rate, and these profits would be tax deferred so long as they remain in trust. So this is another reason to establish these trusts, in addition to the fact that you want to establish these trusts prior to the appreciation of the dinar and the other currencies. So this is why we've been inundated with trust requests, and we're doing everything we can to try to get these trusts completed, sent to these individuals so that they can execute the appropriate documents, get their trust enforced, and get their currencies assigned to that trust pre-RV. We will be back next week, of course, and I hope to have some very good information for you based on the calls that I will be listening to today. Again, the calls that are not recorded are the calls that you miss if you're not on the live call, which is why I'm moving rather quickly through this in order to get to this one call that's taking place right now. But I want to give our newer callers our contact information. You can go to our website, which is trusts with an S, unlimitedllc.com. Our email address is trusts with an S, unlimitedllc@gmail.com, and our phone service is 307-274-4122. If you'd like to listen to a recent conference call playback, particularly the call of June 2nd, you can either go to YouTube and go to Trusts Unlimited, or you can go to IQD calls and go to Trusts Unlimited, or you can simply dial the same number that you dialed for this live call this afternoon with the exception of the last number. Rather than dialing a 4, you'll dial a 3 and then use the same access code, which is 739-394#. If you'd like to be included on our email list, you can go to our website, go to the bottom, enter your name and email address where indicated. You should be on our email list within 24 hours. Bear in mind that we only send emails out very periodically, pre-RV, but after the reinstitution of the dinar in country, not only will our Wednesday calls be dealing with all of the other post-RV issues, because we will cease marketing the pre-RV trust, but emails will be going out as often as weekly. Our next call, barring any unforeseen occurrence, will be next Wednesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thanks very much for listening, everyone, and keep your fingers crossed because everything is moving in the right direction. Take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.